Hello, buddy. Welcome back to Tin Man's Court Channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today I thought I'd get on here and share with you guys another dream I had. I had this dream about a few years ago, and I just thought about it, and I thought I'd get on here and record it before I forget. So, in my dream, I was walking up to my grandma's house, and we already sold it, but the lady that moved in ended up purchasing the house next door. That was a brick house, by the way, and added on to both properties, like a walkway to and from each house. It made that place into like an antique store on the bottom floor and a movie theater. I'm not kidding, a movie theater on the top floor. I was like, wow. I'm surprised the building contractors were able to approve building this. It would be up to code, you know. Imagine all the lumber, bricks, and wiring and labor had to be involved doing that. Well, yeah, we walked in there. The lady said she wanted to run an antique store business, but she didn't find no building that was intriguing to her, let's put it that way. So when she saw my grandma's property and the neighbors next door property, she said we could combine both of them and people can walk to and from each house. And she even tore out the original stairway because my grandma's house was built back during World War II. It had aluminum siding on it, and the stairway was like right there in the corner. Once you walk into the living room, you open up the door and it's like one of those tight stairways. It's like this, and you go up. Well, they tore that completely out and had to build a whole new set of stairs. I was like, golly. I know that had to be labor intensive, but I'm not kidding. You walked in, the front living room area has got like a bunch of old electronic stuff for sale, and then when you go to my grandma's old bedroom, it was a bunch of old quilts and sewing craft stuff. And then her front room that used to be her sewing room turned to be a room full of vintage china and glass dolls. Then we walked in the kitchen. There was a bunch of old kitchen utensils and stuff for sale in there, of course. But when we walked to the laundry room, they expanded out a little bit on the porch of the laundry room to add more stuff. And boy, there was more dishes out there. Then we walked through the addition to the brick house, and there was like stuff in the attic of that house. When we walked in the basement, it was Halloween. I was like, oh, wow. My kind of place, right? But then we kept seeing a bunch of like old mirrors and jewelry in other rooms. But then she took us towards the top of my grandma's house, and I don't know how they did it, but they were able to take what was there upstairs and add on to it to make some room to put movie theater chairs in there. She said she wanted to have a spot to where she could go watch movies instead of going to our movie theater in town. I said, well, that's neat. And she invited us to come back the next day after she closes, and we watched a movie in there. I'm trying to think what movie we were watching. Oh, it was a classic movie, Frankenstein, with Boris Karloff. I said, oh man, this is a true classic. I love that movie. Must have had it on my mind when I was dreaming this up anyway. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention. My grandma had a shed in the backyard. She kept her like little push mower and gardening tools in. That was gone. The lady told us that she didn't have no need for it and sold the shed to somebody else, but all the tools already grabbed out of there and sold most of it. Anyway, there was a tree in the front yard too, and that tree got cut down. So it looked weird not seeing it there anymore. I was like, dang, it don't seem like her house anymore. I ended up buying some Santa figurines and some Halloween stuff, of course. And she let me know when she gets some of the good stuff that I like to come in. I said, oh, good. Then we walked out of there and went home, and then I woke up. I was like, man, that was a fascinating dream. I mean, imagine, folks, if you can get your house made with a movie theater. Sometimes you might have to build the movie theater in a basement area, because I don't think there ain't no way you could build one up in like an attic or extra space up in the top floor unless you know a contractor that knows how to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little dream of mine. I know it's kind of crazy to hear about a house turned into an antique store. I mean, it can happen. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications for more dream-related content like this. This has been another successful installment of the Tin Man's Court channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor. I say that's a wrap, and have a nice day.